Red FM.
Yeah, I think they've been up and down a bit. I saw them. I've seen them in 3 games, to be honest, and they haven't really scaled the heights that they did last year at any stage. They seem to be. I think Liam is trying out a few new players this year and trying to find. This half-forward line is a problem for Tip on an ongoing basis. So he's been trying different players in there. Seamus Hennessy has played in the half-forward line. Noel McGrath has come back out to the half-forward line. Garrod Ryan played the last day. So, they're trying to find players in the half-forward line. They've been missing Seamus Callan, who's been injured for most of the league, and Owen Kelly didn't play the last day. So they have been a little bit unsettled, and maybe that's the reason why they haven't been as impressive as they were in the league last year.
Yeah, that half-forward line for Tip, Nicky, it seems to be possibly their main area of weakness. How much of a concern is that for Liam Sheedy?
Well, I think ultimately that was the undoing of Tip last year in the All-Ireland final. Mm-hmm. They were John O'Brien and Pat Kerwick were replaced. They're both their half-forwards, and they did that in most of the games. And then Benny Dunn came in, and he was sent off from the half-forward line. So I suppose that was their undoing last year. They don't seem to have found new players, particularly bigger, stronger guys in the half-forward line. But Tip have a very strong defence. Brendan Maher has come out and played midfield this year with Shane McGrath, and that's a very potent midfield. And Larry Corbett is in brilliant form. So they're not short very few really to be the finished package.
Yeah, the half-forward line is possibly a bit of a soft spot as well for Dennis Walsh. What have you made of Cork so far, Nicky? It's been a good league campaign, but Championship hurling is a different kettle of fish, so it's difficult to tell exactly where they stand.
Yeah, I think Cork have been impressive, or more impressive than they normally are in the league, and they're trying harder in the league than I've seen them in the last few years. I think their forwards really, to me, they haven't found a whole lot. Mm-hmm. Looking at a few of the league matches that I've seen, and ultimately last year against in the championship, it was their forward line that was their undoing. It seemed to be really between Isaki O'Halpine and Michael Cusson. Both of them have different qualities, really. Michael Cusson seems to be a better hurler than Isaki, but Isaki is more energetic and better able to win the ball. I think Isaki is playing against Tipperary, so he did damage against them last year. Patrick Horgan is, he mixes the good with the bad. Really, he's a talented player, I think, and if he had taken a few of the scores that came his way in Cork last year, then I think they would have had Tip in a lot of trouble in the championship. So I don't think there'll be much between them in the league. They might have to play a couple of times in the league, although I suppose Galway will have a say about that. And then ultimately they'll be playing at the 29th of May. It'll be the big one in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, and I don't think there'll be a lot between them that day either.
Yeah, you mentioned Michael Cusson there as well, Nicky. There's a lot of talk about him down here. Cork fans seem to be pinning a lot of hope on his shoulders. I suppose Tip operated a similar system in full forward with Micheál Webster in recent years. What have you made of Cusson so far? Does he look like the real deal?
Yeah, I think he's. I saw him against Limerick, and when he gets the ball, he seems to be a good hurler off both sides, left and right. He has very good hands. He's possibly not as capable of winning the ball as Isaki is, mm-hmm. even though he's possibly better when he gets the ball. So it's a combination of both would be ideal. Would be the ideal recipe, I say. They're both very big men, and both would be hard to manage, but. Neither of them would be the finished article, I'd say. But I think from Cork's perspective, the half-hour line is going to be where they have to fill. And I think Niall McCarthy was their best player against Kilkenny. I was watching that match, and mm-hmm. There's nothing really that new about the Cork half-hour line, really.
Yeah, what is it that's so special about games involving Cork and Tip, Nicky? You played in plenty of them during your own career. I suppose the rivalry has come back again in recent years as well, with so many meetings in the championship.
Yeah, the rivalry between Tip and Cork will always be there, but I suppose it goes through stages where they don't meet that often, but the last number of years they have met, and they've been great games. The great atmosphere in Turlough last year, and special atmosphere in Cork the year before, where actually Tip were lucky enough to win. And we haven't won that often in Páirc Uí Chaoimh over the years, and it was a great one for us to win down there over. I think that was our first win in 50 or 60 years in Cork, and it's never easy to win against Cork anywhere, but particularly down in Cork.
Yeah, and whoever wins this weekend, Nicky, will it give that side any kind of psychological advantage going into the championship game, do you think?
I'm not sure will a whole lot. I don't know, but it'll certainly give pointers, and both teams will be picking what they'll consider their best. And I think Cork have already done that, I think Tip will be picking what they'll consider their best team too, and both of them will be trying to get to the league final.
Yeah, and after last year, Nicky, Tip will obviously have their eye on going a step further in the championship and winning in All Ireland from your perspective. But do you see Cork as genuine contenders as well?
I think that they'll certainly be major contenders for the Munster Championship. I'd be worried from a Tipperary perspective about meeting Cork in the first round in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, and I think that might be that's a difficulty for Tipperary, because you get beaten down there, then you're into the qualifier group, which is never easy to come out of, because you end up playing 3 Saturdays in a row and have to come back through the Leinster champions. So the best way to win it is to go through is to try and get through and win the Munster final. And with the problems that Limerick are having this year, the match between Cork and Tip will most likely meet. The winners will be in the Munster final, so it'll be a huge game.
Yeah, just very finally, Nicky, to put you on the spot, how do you see the game going on Sunday?
I think it'll be close. I think Cork's level of fitness and desire in the league this year is greater than Tip's, from what I've seen so far. So I think it'll be a tough game for Tip to come out of. I'd have a sneaky fancy for Cork, and if Tip can get over Cork on Sunday, then I think it would be a bad sign for Cork for later on in the year. Red FM.